Hi guys, welcome to Buildable Brand, and we have another Squarespace tutorial ready for you guys. Today we're going to talk about updating and editing your footer. So let's jump right in. Alright, so we're going to navigate into our Squarespace and click edit on whatever page we want to start editing the footer. Your footer is going to be universal on all of your pages unless you go into your page settings and turn the footer off for that specific page. But if you didn't do that, then you will know that whatever you do on any of the pages for the header will be universally changed for every single page. So now that we want to edit, we scroll down to the footer, and now brings us into the footer specific settings. Now, if you have a template from me, like this one, the lifestyle, there are already some elements set up, such as the logo, this legal section at the bottom, and the button. So if you wanted to do something like change the elements that are on this template, it's pretty simple. For logo, you would just click, edit, replace, and upload the file with your new logo. And then, like any other element on Squarespace, you can move the bounding box to change its position and also change where you want it to be placed on the page. Now, let's say we want to edit some other stuff and add some other stuff. When you're on the footer, we have this section here called Add Block. This brings up pretty much every single block that we can add on every other section of the page. And now we can do things like add social links. We can click here, edit, and add specific social links. So if we had Instagram, I'm just going to start putting random stuff. We're going to add an Instagram. We're going to add Pinterest. Boom. So once you add the social links, that'll automatically show up here. And then we can do things like edit the design to change our placements, the icon style, things like that. Let's go back to having it centered. When it comes to editing our button, we would edit it here the same way we would on any other section of the page by double clicking and either changing the text, adding a link for where it directs to. And of course, we can change the design if we want to change it from one of our different button styles. Now, the section at the bottom, especially, like I said, if you have a template from me, is going to have your legal information. And it's just simply, you click it and edit. The same way you would edit any text box. If you want to add a link, so for example, this legal, I want it to click through to my privacy policy page, I'd highlight it, go over to my link icon, click that, and choose what page I want it to link to. Unfortunately, I feel like because the footer's at the bottom, sometimes you can't see all of the full list of the settings. So you kind of have to play around with the page while you edit until you're done. And then use this to make sure it's as short or as long as you want it. But now that I added a link, you'll see that it's highlighted and now an active link. But you can do a lot of different things here depending on what you want to go on your footer. You can add an image. You can add a newsletter block. You can make your footer as robust as you need it to. And of course, this looks a hot mess. Nothing's organized, nothing's designed. It's just to show you the options that you have. Of course, if I don't want anything, I can just delete. Now, one thing that I definitely would make sure that you check out before you set your site live and consider your footer done is moving over to mobile view. That will show you what it will look like on, of course, mobile devices. So you want to make sure that everything is aligning the way you want it to and it has the spacing you want. Remember that as long as you're sticking with changes like placement, then it will be done specifically on mobile and not affect your desktop. So for example, if I want my social links on top of my logo, I can do that here. But when I go back to desktop, you will see it's exactly how it was before. It's only if I wanted to do something like change it from being center aligned to right aligned, will that affect the desktop. So again, as long as it's placement stuff, it could be mobile specific. Once we start getting into the details of different elements, what you do on mobile will be reflected in desktop. Now, another thing I want to call out is this scrolling bar right here. While it's not part of the main footer, it is also considered part of your footer. So you can add whole new sections, whether it's a blank section for you to say add a social bar and a social links if you want. Or you can click and add any Squarespace layout that's already created. So they have a lot of different options. So for example, this has a scrolling bar. I can remove it. I can change if I want it on top or below my primary footer. And if I want to edit it, I just double click and change the wording here. And if I wanted to click through to my Instagram account, just like anything on Squarespace, I click attach link, paste my Instagram URL, and it'll automatically take you there when you click it. Now, one of the last things I want to talk about in terms of editing your footer is your site styles. Now, when you click edit section, it brings up a similar window as any base page on Squarespace. Now, for the most part, I will say don't bother with this stuff unless you are wanting to do advanced changes, like the counts of the bars in the grid and whether it fills the screen, the alignment, all of that stuff. I would say leave it alone. But the background I would change because this is more design stuff. So you can decide whether you want the background of your footer to be just a regular solid color, or if you want it to be an image, you can add it and change that there too. If you want to add a video or make the background some of the Squarespace art and animations, you can do that as well. But you can also just change the color theme. So let me turn off the animation. So whether I want it on my darkest theme or lightest, I can do those edits here. Just keep in mind, of course, you'll have to make sure you update your settings like your social links and of course your logo to be able to be legible on whatever background you choose. And with that, you now have your secondary navigation, aka your footer, done, designed, branded, and ready to go. If you have any questions, leave us a comment. If this was helpful, smash that like button. And if you want more tutorials, check out the list of things that we offer here. Subscribe for more so you can always stay up to date. And if you need any help with design, such as someone to actually design your website since you don't want to DIY it, or looking for a professional logo, check us out at buildablebrand.com. Well, good luck, guys. You can definitely build your brand. You just have to have confidence and a little bit of knowledge. And I'm here to help you with both. So with that, good luck, keep building, and I'll see you later.